What is up, guys? Delboy here. So Eddie Hearn has confirmed he has made 3 offers to Deontay Wilder for a fight with Dillian Whyte. The first 2 were rejected, and the third offer has not been responded to as of yet. As we know, Deontay Wilder is also in negotiations with Bermane Stiverne. Stiverne is mandatory for Deontay Wilder's title somehow, so that there is a stumbling block there. But I think the Dillian Whyte fight with Deontay Wilder makes a lot of sense for both parties, really. Namely, for Dillian Whyte, it's a massive fight, and it is a chance to fight for the heavyweight title, and it's a chance to make the rematch with Anthony Joshua massive. But it's also, it makes a lot of sense for Deontay Wilder. Now, if this fight got made, I would be picking Deontay Wilder to win. I don't think Dillian Whyte has no chance, but I would be quite confident in Deontay Wilder getting the job done. But the fight makes a lot of sense. We all know in 2017 the heavyweight division is really based in the UK right now. Obviously, we've got Anthony Joshua, who's the biggest name in the division. Tyson Fury is still a name. Whether we see him back or not is another matter. You got Hughie Fury, Derek Chisora, Dillian Whyte. The UK is probably the hotbed right now, and where the money's at. So a fight between Deontay Wilder and Dillian Whyte makes a lot of sense for Wilder, because ultimately it sells that Anthony Joshua fight even more, particularly if he gets an impressive performance. It will give the UK fans some prolonged exposure to Deontay Wilder. We'll see the trash talk in the press conferences between him and Dillian. It'll give the UK fans an idea of who he is. We saw him over here commentating on the Anthony Joshua Vladimir Klitschko fight, so they've already made a start. So why not make the fight with Dillian Whyte? Makes a hell of a lot of sense. Plus the fact it's actually a decent fight. Dillian Whyte's a tough man. He's got okay power. Fun fighter to watch. He's entertaining outside the ring. So, and Dillian Whyte for me would be Deontay Wilder's second best opponent probably, especially prior to or after Bermane Stiverne. Sorry, if you look at all the guys he's fought since Stiverne, Duhaupas, Molina, Chris Arreola, he's definitely better than those guys, and he's probably better than Spilka and Gerald Washington. So yeah, I mean, at the very least, he's on the same level as Spilka and Washington. So he'll be one of Wilder's best opponents since winning a title. So I think the fight makes a lot of sense, because I think the fight in itself will be quite fun while it lasts. It gives Wilder exposure to the UK fans. It builds that Joshua fight even more. And obviously, if Dillian Whyte wins again, it creates another massive fight in the UK, the rematch between Dillian Whyte and Anthony Joshua. The first fight between those two generated a lot of interest, and it got a lot of good reviews. Great build-up, fun fight. Dillian gave AJ some problems. Dillian Whyte versus Deontay Wilder makes a lot of sense for both parties, but especially for Deontay Wilder. Makes a hell of a lot more sense than Bermane Stiverne, because that really does nothing for his career. And on this channel, we've always sort of praised Al Heyman for making good matchups recently. I like the model of free boxing on terrestrial TV. In America, a lot of PBC shows are on free TV. So I'm a big believer in Al Heyman. I think there's been better matches since Heyman's taken over in the US than there was beforehand, because beforehand we had the Cold War between Golden Boy and Top Rank, and a lot of matches weren't being made. But since Heyman's been in charge, you can't deny that there's been more matches made in the States. So I'll give Heyman a lot of credit for doing that. But one thing I will say, I think the promotion of Deontay Wilder in the United States has been terrible. I mean, since he's won the title, he's not really that much of a bigger name than he was then. I don't think he's been marketed particularly well. He's not had the biggest fights. And this guy's an American heavyweight champion. And it's not like Deontay Wilder isn't marketable, because he is. He gets brutal knockouts. He's an entertaining fighter. He's got that vulnerability factor about him. He can talk. He's got charisma. It's not like Deontay Wilder is this guy who is not interesting and he's got a boring style, because it's not. He's got the style. He's got the power. He's got the charisma. He's got everything there to make him a star. But the promoters in America haven't done a good job of it, because the reality is, if Deontay Wilder was British, Eddie Hearn he'll be fighting on pay-per-views, and that's the reality. Although we're getting better matchups now in the United States boxing scene, the actual promotion aspect of the whole game, promoters doing their job, making events bigger, generating excitement, is not happening. The promoters in the United States are doing a terrible job. The viewership figures are still terrible. Look at the promotion for Andre Ward versus Sergey Kovalev 2. Terrible. That fight, I doubt that fight would have done over 200,000 buys. And the first time it flopped as well. So, although we're getting the great fights in the States, I don't think the promotion side of things is getting any better, because of the viewership figures, for the most part, are not going up. There's the odd show here and there that get good views, but, on the whole, UFC is still doing better. So yeah, I mean, look at some of the UFC pay-per-view numbers. There's guys who I've never heard of getting 200k, and Ward Kovalev 1 got like 170k pay-per-view buys, and there's guys in the UFC I've never heard of doing bigger numbers. So listen, while we're getting the bigger fights now in the States, they're not getting the best promotion. So I think it's beneficial for Wilder to come over here, because he's going to get that exposure, and it's going to lead to a potentially huge fight with Anthony Joshua, whether that's at Wembley Stadium or the Millennium Stadium, Old Trafford, whatever. It makes a lot of sense for Deontay Wilder, for his profile and his future career. That's a reality. What do you guys think? Peace.